And this time we're with Professor Markham from Toolbarn University, and Professor Markham is going to kind of go into the lighting landscape for us because things have changed over the past few years thanks to stricter federal energy standards for lighting. And you're going to explain some of these lighting devices to us, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's changed and what people might want to look for, whether it's in the home or for work applications, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Where should we start? How about
Let's
this little
start
puppy?
with the halogen bulb. The halogen bulb was invented in 1959 by this guy, Elmer Frederick.
You think he was a happy man?
I hope so. I
Yeah,
hope so.
yeah. I like the bow tie. I've never had one.
It
like
is
that,
nice.
but yeah, it is. That's cool. Yeah. Okay.
So here's an example of one of Elmer's inventions here. This is a halogen light. This is a really great light. It's incredibly bright. It makes a very white light. But the problem with these is they're very, very hot.
Right.
They are a little bit more efficient than just the standard incandescent bulb, but like I said,
30% or so, I think, is what I hear.
30%.
Yep.
They are really hot, though. Here is an example of how hot these actually get. This cord was hanging in front of this light while it was on and just melted right through. So yeah, you have to be really careful with these type of bulbs. They just get really hot.
All right.
We've also got the CFL. So this is a compact fluorescent light. These are even more energy efficient. We've also got the LED, which is even more energy efficient than the CFL even. These are great because they have a very, very long life, and they produce a very, very bright light as well.
And you can get these in configurations that pretty much replicate the tungsten type of bulb. They're a lot more expensive, but they look like the tungstens. They're dimmable, which a lot of the CFLs, there's some question about how dimmable they actually are. So if you're using them in your home, you might want to think about that, right?
Yep. And these are cool, where the halogen light is really hot, the LEDs are very cool.
Oh, you mean cool as in temperature-wise,
right?
As opposed to cool. Now this is kind of a cool.
Too.
That's kind of a cool looking light. I think it's cool. You know, all these changes do change the way you buy for bulbs. Now, we've got a little chart here. I'm sure we'll put this on screen full, but used to be every time I went to the store to buy light bulbs, I looked for 40, 60, 75, 100 watt bulbs for the house, and you had what lamps you were going to put them in, and they were all dimmable, and it was a piece of cake. That's not the way it's going to be, or not the way it is now anymore, correct? You got to look for different things. Lumens. So you look for the lumens. The higher the lumen, the brighter the bulb, correct? And you see how this translates. So you got if you got a 1600 lumen bulb, that's the equivalent of 100 watts in an incandescent or 16 to 20 watts in an LED. So you can see the efficiency of these compared the LEDs to the incandescent bulbs. A lot more efficient. So that's what we've got for you right now. We'll have more later. Thanks.